Hey guys, tonight we step back into a world of sand, sun, and mystery, ancient Egypt. Picture yourself under the blazing desert sun, the Nile shimmering beside you, and the towering pyramids casting long shadows. But instead of grand pharaohs or mighty gods, we're diving into something much closer to home: how the Egyptians cared for their teeth. Yes, teeth, the unsung heroes of everyday life, even 4,000 years ago. You probably won't survive this without a cringe or two, because their dental hygiene routine was a bit wild compared to what you know today. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Drop your location and local time in the comments. I'm curious where you're tuning in from. Now dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You awake to the faint buzz of desert insects just outside your humble mud brick home. It's dawn, and your first task, oddly enough, isn't breakfast but dealing with your teeth. Ancient Egyptians knew teeth could betray their health and status, so dental care was surprisingly important. But the tools at your disposal are not the gleaming toothbrush and minty paste of the future. Instead, your morning begins with a small twig from a Salvadora persica tree, known as the toothbrush tree, stripped of its bark at one end and chewed until it's soft and bristly. You rub this frayed tip against your teeth and gums, a ritual both practical and sacred, because this twig carries natural antibacterial properties that modern science would much later confirm. But here's the twist: your toothpaste isn't a minty gel, but a gritty paste made from crushed ox hooves, ashes, burnt eggshells, and powdered myrrh. The mix sounds like a witch's recipe, but it's what helps scrape away plaque and freshen your breath as best as they can. No fluoride here, no soothing gels, just raw abrasive power. And if you think that's extreme, wait till you hear about the other methods, some involving abrasive powders that would make your dentist faint. You have to be careful though. Overuse or too vigorous scrubbing with these harsh pastes could wear down enamel, something the ancient Egyptians had little way to repair. Yet many still practiced their dental rituals diligently, understanding that a clean mouth was connected to health, beauty, and even divine favor. Pharaohs might have the finest gold-inlaid combs and cosmetics, but commoners like you found pride in a smile free of dirt and decay. So tonight, as you lay your head on a simple pillow carved from wood or stuffed with straw, remember the quest for clean teeth is ancient, gritty, and full of surprises. And you're just getting started. The day moves slowly, the sun climbing higher, and you find yourself wandering through the bustling streets of a small Egyptian village. Vendors shout their wares, children play near the riverbanks, and everywhere you look, there's the unmistakable aroma of spices, baked bread, and the ever-present scent of the Nile's muddy waters. But amid all this daily life, dental problems lurk quietly in many mouths. You notice the stained teeth of some villagers, yellowed by the sand food, and perhaps the gritty toothpaste they use. Dental disease was common, and while some Egyptian nobles had access to better care, the average person wasn't so lucky. Archaeologists examining ancient skulls have found evidence of worn teeth cavities, abscesses, and even missing teeth. It's clear that despite their efforts, ancient Egyptians struggled with tooth decay and pain. But how did they cope with it? For those fortunate enough, there was a rudimentary form of dental treatment. The Egyptian medical papyri, such as the Ebers papyrus, include references to remedies for toothache and gum problems. Some recipes called for applying mixtures of herbs, honey, or even ground pumice to soothe aching gums. Honey, prized for its antibacterial properties, was often used as a healing salve. But much of the relief came from superstition and ritual. In fact, dental health wasn't just a matter of hygiene, but of spiritual importance. Teeth were connected to Ma'at, the cosmic order and balance that Egyptians revered. Bad teeth could be seen as a sign of imbalance or even a curse. So you might visit a healer who chants prayers, applies magical amulets, or uses potions to ward off evil spirits believed to cause your pain. Despite the superstition, there was a surprising level of practical knowledge. You learn from elders that avoiding too much sweet honey or overindulgence in bread can help preserve teeth. Yet bread was a staple, often coarse and filled with grit from stone mills which wore down teeth over time. So your diet plays a direct role in your dental health. A fact ancient Egyptians understood, even if they lacked modern dental science. As you move through the marketplace, you catch sight of small sticks bundled together for sale, more tooth-cleaning twigs, their rough ends ready to be chewed into brushes. Even children learn the importance of this daily habit. It's a simple but essential part of life here, linking generations through ritual and routine. You might wonder how such a world without dentists, drills, or toothpaste tubes managed to keep so many smiles at least somewhat intact. The answer lies in a strange combination of nature's gifts, crude tools, spiritual belief, and human determination, all woven into the fabric of ancient Egyptian life. And your story is just unfolding. As the sun reaches its zenith, the heat presses down, and you seek shade beside the Nile's gentle flow. Here you observe the artisans crafting their wares, pottery, jewelry, linens, each requiring careful hands and focused minds. But amid these everyday scenes, your thoughts return to the curious tools of dental care scattered throughout your world. One of the most fascinating discoveries you've encountered is the ancient Egyptian toothbrush, or rather its precursor. Unlike the plastic-handled brushes of the future, the Egyptians relied heavily on the miswak, a twig, from the Salvadora persica tree, as you've already experienced. This toothstick wasn't just a random piece of wood. It was chosen for its natural cleansing and antiseptic properties. Chewing on its end created soft bristles that could scrub away debris and bacteria. What's more, recent scientific studies have shown that Salvadora persica contains compounds like fluoride silica and vitamin C, which help strengthen teeth and fight infection. So in a way, you're part of a long tradition of natural dental care, tapping into a remedy that's lasted thousands of years. It's humbling to realize that some of what we think of as modern discoveries were already known in simpler, more organic forms. But the miswak wasn't the only tool. Archaeologists have unearthed small sets of toothpicks fashioned from metal, bone, or wood, used to dislodge food stuck between teeth. These delicate instruments show a clear concern for dental cleanliness, even if the methods were rudimentary. Interestingly, the Egyptians also understood the value of chewing substances to stimulate saliva, which helps protect teeth. Chewing on aromatic herbs like mint, anise, or cumin not only freshened breath, but aided digestion and oral health. You might find yourself popping a small herb leaf into your mouth after a meal, just as many do here. Yet not all dental practices were gentle. The abrasive tooth powders often contained crushed eggshells, pumice, or burnt ashes, substances effective at scrubbing, but harsh on enamel. Over time, these could wear down teeth, leaving them sensitive or vulnerable. The Egyptians had no way to repair enamel once lost, making their daily brushing a delicate balance between cleaning and damage. You realize how dental care in ancient Egypt was an art of balance, using natural remedies and tools that helped keep teeth clean while risking harm if overused. It's a testament to their ingenuity and resourcefulness, adapting what nature provided to fit the needs of daily life. As afternoon fades, you prepare for the evening rituals, knowing that the care you give your teeth now will echo through the rest of your life, ancient though it may be. The story of your teeth is part of a much larger tale woven into the very fabric of Egyptian culture and belief. Evening descends slowly, and you retreat to the courtyard of your home where the sky shifts to soft purples and golds. The rhythm of daily life slows, but the ritual of dental care does not end with the daylight. In fact, for many ancient Egyptians, the evening teeth-cleaning routine was just as important as the mornings. You sit down with a small bowl of your homemade dental paste, a mixture you prepare carefully each day. The recipe varies by household and region, but common ingredients include powdered ox hooves, ashes from burnt incense, ground eggshells, and aromatic resins like myrrh or frankincense. The ashes and burnt materials provide abrasive qualities to scrub away stubborn food particles, while the fragrant resins mask unpleasant smells and even offer mild antiseptic benefits. Mixing these dry ingredients with a little water or honey creates a gritty paste that you apply with your trusty miswak twig. You scrub your teeth methodically, mindful of the grit that can both cleanse and erode. It's a painstaking process, but one you've been taught since childhood. You remember hearing that some wealthier Egyptians had access to powdered charcoal or crushed minerals like malachite to add color and enhance cleaning power. The green pigment of malachite was also popular in cosmetics, showing how closely beauty and dental care were intertwined in this culture. But dental hygiene was not just about cleaning, it was about status. A bright, clean smile was a sign of health prosperity and divine favor. Pharaohs and nobles often adorned their teeth with gold or wore jeweled dental prosthetics to show their wealth and power. While these luxuries are beyond your reach, the simple daily rituals connect you to that same desire for cleanliness and dignity. In some temples, priests performed elaborate cleansing rites, blessing the faithful with sacred oils and prayers to protect teeth and gums. This spiritual dimension of dental care reminds you that in Egypt, health and religion are inseparable. You also recall stories of folk remedies handed down through generations, rubbing crushed salt on gums to stop bleeding, or applying poultices, made from figs or onions, to soothe pain. Some of these methods sound harsh, but they are the best tools available in a world without modern dentistry. As night falls, you lay aside your miswak twig to dry, readying it for tomorrow's ritual. The stars above twinkle with the same timelessness as the traditions you uphold. Your teeth, rough and worn as they may be, carry the story of your life, your people, and the enduring spirit of ancient Egypt. This simple act of brushing both mundane and sacred anchors you to a past that feels closer than the distant pyramids because it is part of your everyday existence, as real and necessary as breathing. Night deepens, and the cool desert air wraps around you as you settle onto your woven mat. Your thoughts wander to the darker side of ancient dental life when things went wrong. Despite the best care with twigs and gritty pastes, many Egyptians suffered painful dental problems that shaped their daily existence. You know from the skulls unearthed by modern scientists that dental decay was widespread. The coarse bread ground with stone mills that often left gritty particles acted like sandpaper on teeth. Over time, enamel wore thin and cavities formed. Without the luxury of fillings or antibiotics, infections could spread, leading to swollen gums and unbearable pain. In some cases, people lost teeth altogether, coping as best they could with the gaps. For the wealthy, replacement teeth made of gold or ivory were sometimes crafted, a luxury you can only dream of. But for most, missing teeth meant difficulty eating and a constant reminder of vulnerability. You hear whispered stories of tooth extractions performed by local healers using crude tools like sharpened stones or metal hooks. The procedure was as terrifying as it sounds, no anesthesia, just raw nerves and steady hands. Some say the pain was excruciating enough to drive people mad, but the relief from a rotten tooth made it worth enduring. Interestingly, the Ebers Papyrus, one of the oldest medical texts, describes various treatments for toothache and oral disease. Some involve topical applications of herbs and resins, others invoke the power of magic spells to drive out tooth demons. This blending of medicine and mysticism was common, as Egyptians saw health as deeply connected to spiritual balance. You imagine sitting in the humble hut of a healer, surrounded by jars of crushed herbs, oils, and incense smoke curling in the air. The healer chants incantations while applying a paste of ground herbs mixed with honey to your aching tooth, hoping to soothe the pain or perhaps convince the spirits to release their hold. Even children were not spared dental woes. Archaeological evidence shows signs of abscesses and worn teeth in young ones, a reminder that dental pain was a daily reality across all ages. Yet despite the hardships, the routine of cleaning teeth persisted, a small act of control in a world often harsh and unpredictable. As you close your eyes tonight, remember that behind every smile in ancient Egypt lay a story of resilience, of people doing their best with what they had, battling pain with ritual hope, and a stubborn will to keep their teeth clean and their spirits strong. The next morning greets you with the soft glow of dawn filtering through your home's reed curtains. As you rise, your thoughts turn once more to the intersection of daily life and dental care, especially the curious role diet played in the health of your teeth. Unlike today's sugary snacks and processed foods, your diet is simpler, but not necessarily gentler on your enamel. Staple foods like coarse barley bread and dried figs provide sustenance, but also introduce their own challenges. The stone-ground flour often leaves tiny grit particles that scrape against your teeth, with every bite slowly eroding the enamel. You also consume plenty of dates, honey, and occasionally sweet wine, all natural sugars that ancient Egyptian teeth weren't immune to. Without proper brushing, these sugars feed bacteria that cause cavities and decay. Yet the Egyptians didn't have the luxury of avoiding sweets altogether. Honey was treasured both as food and medicine. Interestingly, fish and vegetables abundant near the Nile helped balance the diet. Crunchy raw vegetables might act as natural toothbrushes, scrubbing teeth as you chew. Fresh herbs like mint and coriander not only flavored meals, but also provided antibacterial effects, contributing subtly to oral hygiene. Your knowledge of food's impact on dental health isn't just practical, it's woven into spiritual beliefs. Some Egyptians believed that eating certain clean foods purified the body, and by extension, the mouth. Conversely, consuming unclean or spoiled foods could invite illness, including dental problems. You recall elders advising children to rinse their mouths with water after meals and chew on aromatic herbs to freshen breath and aid digestion. This practice is more than habit. It's a way to honor the balance between body and soul. While today's meals may be simple, they connect you to a cycle of life and health deeply respected in Egyptian culture. Every bite affects not only your immediate satisfaction, but your long-term well-being and appearance. Bright teeth are a sign you honor this balance, a silent signal of your connection to the land, the gods, and your community. As you prepare for the day ahead, you can't help but admire the subtle wisdom in these ancient ways. Though lacking modern science, the Egyptians understood that what you eat and how you care for your teeth are inseparable parts of a healthy, harmonious life. Your smile, after all, is more than teeth. It's a reflection of your world. Midday heat presses down again, and you seek refuge in the cool shade of a fig tree. Here you observe a small group of children playing nearby, their laughter echoing softly. Among their games, you notice a curious ritual. They chew on small twigs and herbs, not just to clean their teeth, but as a kind of play and learning. Dental hygiene, it seems, is something learned from a very young age. Mothers and elders teach children to take care of their mouths, passing down wisdom and customs like treasured heirlooms. This oral care isn't just about health. It's a rite of passage, a lesson in self-respect and community belonging. You remember hearing stories about how ancient Egyptian schools included lessons on cleanliness and discipline, including tooth care. Scribes and priests especially were expected to maintain a neat appearance as their work required precision and a respected presence. Clean teeth were part of this image, an outward sign of inner order. The use of fragrant herbs such as mint anise and cumin extends beyond mere breath freshening. These plants have mild antiseptic properties, helping to fight harmful bacteria in the mouth. Children chewing on these herbs unknowingly boost their oral defenses, making it harder for decay to take hold. You also notice that some children play with small sticks shaped like tiny brushes, mimicking adult tooth cleaning tools. This practice familiarizes them early with the routine they will follow throughout their lives. However, despite these lessons, tooth decay remains common. The gritty bread and natural sugars still take their toll, and many children suffer from painful dental issues. Yet the persistence of these early rituals shows a strong cultural commitment to oral health, even in the face of adversity. As the children scatter to their homes for midday meals, you reflect on how dental care in ancient Egypt is a living tradition, one taught not only by words, but through action, example, and community. It's a daily practice binding generations together, a shared language of care and survival. Your teeth, like theirs, carry the stories of these lessons, these quiet moments of growth and learning. And though the methods may seem crude by future standards, the intent is timeless: to protect, to preserve, and to face each day with a clean smile. As the afternoon sun begins to dip toward the horizon, you make your way to the bustling temple district, where priests and scribes tend to both spiritual and practical matters. Here, dental care takes on an elevated significance, blending health with sacred ritual. You observe a temple priest preparing a special mixture meant to protect teeth and gums. This concoction includes fragrant myrrh resin, crushed mint leaves, and a pinch of salt. Ingredients chosen not only for their healing properties, but also for their symbolic power. Myrrh, in particular, is sacred. Its aroma is said to please the gods and ward off evil spirits that might invade the body through ailing teeth. In temples dedicated to Thoth, the god of wisdom, and healing offerings are made to ensure good health and clear speech. Clean teeth aren't just for vanity. They're essential for proper prayer and communication with the divine. A mouth burdened with decay or foul breath could hinder one's connection to the gods, so maintaining oral purity is a spiritual duty. You overhear a priest chanting incantations over a patient suffering from severe toothache. The ritual combines herbal application with spoken prayers, invoking protection and healing. In a world where medicine and magic intertwine, faith often becomes as important as any remedy. Interestingly, some priests double as healers, offering treatments that blend herbal knowledge with ritual. The Eber's Papyrus mentions remedies for tooth demons, suggesting that illness was attributed to supernatural causes as much as physical ones. Beyond the temple walls, this spiritual approach to dental care influences everyday life. Many carry amulets shaped like teeth or animals associated with protection, believing these charms guard against decay and pain. You also notice that the wealthy sometimes visit temple healers seeking cosmetic dental enhancements. Gold caps or inlays aren't just displays of wealth, they're believed to strengthen teeth and bring favor from the gods. As twilight deepens, you understand that in ancient Egypt, dental care is far more than hygiene. It's a sacred practice woven into the very fabric of religion, culture, and identity. Your daily brushing ritual is a quiet act of devotion, a small but vital link between you and the timeless mysteries of your world. Nightfall blankets the village, but your thoughts linger on the curious ways ancient Egyptians battled bad breath, an issue as old as time itself. While a fresh smile was prized, the stench of decay or poor hygiene could be socially damaging and spiritually troubling. To combat this, Egyptians employed a variety of natural breath fresheners. Chewing aromatic herbs such as mint, fennel, anise, or cumin seeds was common after meals. These herbs stimulated saliva, which naturally cleansed the mouth, and their strong scents masked unpleasant odors. You learn that these seeds and herbs were often carried in small pouches or containers ready for use throughout the day. Traders and travelers alike kept such breath fresheners close at hand, knowing that a foul mouth could hinder negotiations or social standing. Beyond simple herbs, Egyptians created mouth rinses from mixtures of water, vinegar, and fragrant oils. While these might sound harsh, the acidic vinegar helped reduce bacteria, and the oils left a pleasant aroma. Some recipes found in ancient medical papyri include mixtures of frankincense and myrrh, infused in water prized not only for their scent, but also for mild antiseptic properties. These rinses were often used during temple ceremonies or before important gatherings to ensure purity. Interestingly, Egyptians also believed that certain animals' teeth and bones held protective powers against bad breath and dental disease. Wearing amulets carved from these materials was thought to ward off oral afflictions. Despite these efforts, oral odor remained a challenge, especially for those suffering from tooth decay or gum disease. Yet the persistent use of natural breath fresheners and rinses shows a sophisticated understanding of social and health needs. You find it fascinating that the quest for fresh breath, something so simple today, was a complex blend of practical herb use, ritual, and superstition in ancient Egypt. The desire to be pleasant to others, to maintain dignity, and to honor the gods through cleanliness united people across all walks of life. As you prepare to rest, you take a mental note to try chewing some fresh mint tomorrow. After all, some ancient habits are worth keeping. Your journey into ancient dental care continues as intimate and revealing as the smile in your mirror. The following morning dawns crisp and clear, and you find yourself drawn to the bustling market once more. Here, artisans and merchants display an astonishing array of goods, among them surprisingly sophisticated dental tools and cosmetic items. You notice small boxes filled with finely crushed minerals like malachite and galena. These pigments weren't just for eye makeup. They were sometimes incorporated into dental powders to brighten teeth or mask discoloration. The glittering green and black powders, while beautiful, were abrasive and could contribute to enamel wear if used too vigorously. Goldsmiths display delicate gold wire and tiny beads, some fashioned into dental ornaments or replacement teeth. These items, though rare and expensive, reveal the Egyptians' desire not only for health, but for aesthetic enhancement. A gold tooth cap or inlay was a status symbol, and a sign of one's connection to the divine, for gold was sacred. You overhear merchants discussing the latest trends in cosmetics and dental care, how certain mixtures of crushed herbs and resins are favored for their pleasant taste and cleaning power. Recipes are closely guarded secrets passed down through families or guilds. Some sellers offer ready-made bundles of miswak twigs, often wrapped with fragrant leaves or tied with colorful threads, making them appealing gifts or personal treasures. These items blend practicality with beauty, reflecting the Egyptians' deep appreciation for balance and harmony. You also spot small amulets shaped like teeth carved from faience or precious stones. These charms are believed to protect the wearer from dental disease and pain, a fusion of health and spirituality that permeates Egyptian life. It's clear that dentistry, while still rudimentary by future standards, was evolving into a craft. Artisans, healers, and priests all contributed to a culture that valued teeth as much for their function as their appearance. As you purchase a small bundle of mint-scented miswak twigs, you feel connected to a tradition that spans centuries. Every brush, every herb, every charm is a thread in the rich tapestry of Egyptian life, where care for teeth reflects care for the self and the soul. Your journey reveals that dental care was never merely a chore. It was an art, a science, and a ritual, shaping not only smiles, but identities in a world both ancient and alive. As the day drifts toward evening, your thoughts turn toward the social side of dental care in ancient Egypt, the way smiles and teeth carried messages beyond mere health. You notice how a bright, well-maintained smile can open doors, signal status, and even convey moral character. In Egyptian art, the depiction of teeth is often subtle but telling. Gods and pharaohs are shown with perfect teeth, emphasizing their divine nature and purity. For common folk, a clean mouth was a badge of respectability. Conversely, bad teeth could shame a person, marking them as careless or unclean. In a society where order and cleanliness were deeply valued, neglecting dental hygiene was more than a personal failing. It could affect social standing and relationships. You overhear conversations at the market, where merchants boast of their dental routines, exchanging tips on the best tooth powders or herbal rinses. Gossip sometimes swirls around those with particularly foul breath or missing teeth, illustrating how dental health influenced community dynamics. In literature and proverbs, references to teeth symbolize strength, honesty, or even aggression. To show your teeth might mean to confront boldly, while biting your tongue suggests restraint. These expressions reveal how deeply dental imagery is embedded in Egyptian culture. Marriage prospects could also hinge on dental health. Parents seeking suitable matches for their children often considered appearance, including the condition of teeth and breath, as indicators of health and fertility. You realize that maintaining your teeth is not just a private act, but a social performance, a way to communicate your place in the world. Your smile becomes a tool, a bridge between personal care and public identity. As night falls, you prepare your dental paste with renewed purpose. The rituals you follow are threads weaving you into the fabric of your community, affirming your role and respect in a society that prizes harmony, cleanliness, and the radiant power of a healthy smile. In ancient Egypt, your teeth tell a story, one of care, connection, and the silent language of everyday life. Night deepens and you reflect on the intriguing connection between ancient Egyptian religion and dental health, how gods and goddesses were believed to protect not just your soul, but your teeth too. One deity closely linked to healing is Isis, revered for her power to restore and protect. Prayers and offerings to Isis often included requests for relief from pain and sickness, including toothaches. You imagine yourself standing before her temple, offering a small token, a piece of bread, or a handful of herbs, hoping for her mercy. Another important figure is Sekhmet, the fierce lioness goddess of war and healing. She embodies both destruction and restoration, feared yet invoked for curing diseases. Temple priests might perform rituals asking Sekhmet to drive away the demons causing oral afflictions. Interestingly, the god Thoth, patron of wisdom writing and medicine, was also called upon in matters of health. As the keeper of knowledge, his blessing was sought by healers, crafting remedies and conducting rituals to ease tooth pain and promote cleanliness. You recall that amulets shaped like the Eye of Horus or small scarabs were worn to invoke protection over the body, including the mouth. These charms were believed to guard against evil forces and decay, blending faith and physical health. Some medical papyri include spells alongside herbal recipes, highlighting the inseparable nature of magic and medicine in Egyptian healing practices. The line between spiritual and physical treatment was fluid with faith itself, often serving as a powerful medicine. In homes and temples, prayers for healthy teeth were part of daily devotion. The act of brushing and cleaning wasn't merely practical, it was a sacred duty to honor the gods who granted life and well-being. As you prepare your evening routine, you feel the presence of these ancient beliefs, an invisible thread linking your actions to the divine. Your teeth cleaned with care and reverence become a symbol of your connection to a world where health, faith, and culture intertwine deeply. This sacred dimension adds weight to your ritual, transforming it from mundane task to an act of devotion and hope carried out with hands steady and heart full. The next day dawns warm and golden as you set out to visit the bustling river port, where traders from distant lands bring exotic goods and new ideas. Here, you encounter evidence of how dental care in ancient Egypt was influenced by contact with other cultures. Foreign merchants introduced spices and herbs not native to the Nile Valley, cinnamon cloves and cardamom, all prized for their aromatic and medicinal qualities. These additions find their way into local dental pastes and breath fresheners, enhancing both flavor and effectiveness. You learn that Egyptians eagerly adopted and adapted these new ingredients, blending them with traditional materials to improve oral hygiene. Trade routes from the Levant, Nubia, and beyond brought not only goods, but knowledge enriching Egypt's dental practices. Some visiting healers bring with them alternative remedies and techniques. For example, there are tales of people using natural charcoal from burnt wood to scrub teeth, a method that gained popularity for its supposed whitening effects. You also discover that certain imported resins such as benzoin and storax were used in incense and dental powders prized for their pleasant scent and antiseptic properties. The blending of local and foreign materials reflects Egypt's openness and adaptability. In addition, you observe that foreign visitors sometimes wear decorative dental jewelry, influencing Egyptian elites to emulate these trends. Gold caps and inlays become even more elaborate, signaling wealth and cosmopolitan status. Yet amidst these innovations, the core of Egyptian dental care remains rooted in tradition, miswak, twigs, herbal rinses, and ritual cleansing. The fusion of old and new creates a dynamic, evolving practice that honors the past while embracing the future. As you stand by the Nile watching boats laden with treasures arrive, you realize that even something as intimate as dental care is part of a larger story, one of connection exchange and the continual quest for health and beauty in a changing world. Your own routine is enriched by these influences, a daily practice both ancient and worldly, linking you to a vibrant tapestry of culture and care stretching far beyond the sands of Egypt. As dusk settles, painting the sky in hues of orange and violet, you find yourself contemplating the legacy of dental care in ancient Egypt, the marks it has left, not just on bodies, but on history itself. Archaeologists have uncovered thousands of teeth and skulls, revealing the intimate story of health hardship and resilience. Despite the challenges of gritty diets and limited medical knowledge, the Egyptians developed a surprisingly advanced approach to oral care. You think about the tools left behind, miswak twigs chewed to frayed brushes, metal toothpicks crafted with care, and containers that once held fragrant powders. These artifacts tell a tale of daily ritual and cultural importance. You also reflect on the medical texts, the Eber's papyrus, and others that blend herbal remedies with magic spells, showing a holistic approach to health. Their prescriptions for toothache, gum disease, and decay were early steps toward modern dentistry. The spiritual dimension stands out as well, prayers, amulets, and rituals linking dental health to divine favor and cosmic order. Teeth were more than bones. They were symbols of purity, strength, and life itself. Even as centuries passed and Egypt's glory faded, the echoes of these practices resonated. The miswak, for example, remains in use today in various cultures, a living connection to ancient wisdom. You marvel at how something as simple as brushing teeth can reveal so much about a civilization's values, struggles, and innovations. The care Egyptians gave their teeth was an act of survival, devotion, and identity. As night deepens and you prepare to rest, you carry with you the knowledge that your smile is part of a vast human story, one that stretches across time, geography, and culture. In the quiet moments before sleep, you honor the ancient hands that once held twigs and powders, striving to keep their teeth clean and their spirits bright. Your journey through their world is nearly complete, but the lessons linger timeless and true. The night grows quiet, and as you prepare for your final brushing before sleep, you ponder the enduring human desire for cleanliness and health qualities as relevant today as they were millennia ago. You think back to the Egyptians, who despite limited tools and knowledge, created rituals that honored their bodies and spirits. Their dental care was not merely a practical necessity, but a complex blend of science, faith, and culture. You recall the rough twigs transformed into brushes, the gritty pastes mixed from earth and resin, the prayers whispered in temples and the amulets worn as shields. Each piece of this mosaic reveals a people deeply committed to preserving their well-being and dignity. Though they lacked modern dentistry's precision, their innovations laid early foundations for oral hygiene. Their holistic view, seeing health as a balance between body, soul, and cosmos, offers wisdom still worth remembering. As you let the quiet night settle your teeth freshly cleaned with your humble miswak twig, you feel connected to a long line of caretakers, ancient and modern, who understand that caring for one's teeth is caring for oneself. This simple act becomes a bridge across time, linking your present to a distant past, where each brushstroke was an act of hope, pride, and survival. So as you close your eyes and drift toward sleep, take comfort in this shared human story. Your smile is part of a legacy, ancient, enduring, and surprisingly beautiful. As the night deepens and your body begins to relax, it's worth reflecting on the incredible journey you've taken tonight. Through the dusty streets, sunlit temples, and quiet homes of ancient Egypt, all centered around something as simple and essential as brushing your teeth. It might seem like a small detail, but the story of dental care reveals much more as a window into daily life, health beliefs, social customs, and even spiritual devotion. Ancient Egyptians were pioneers in their own right. With no modern dentists, toothpaste tubes, or electric brushes, they relied on nature's gifts, a twig from the toothbrush tree, abrasive powders made from burnt shells and bones, fragrant resins, and the power of faith. They mixed practical knowledge with ritual understanding that a clean mouth meant more than hygiene. It symbolized balance, purity, and connection to the gods. Their smiles, worn and sometimes painful from gritty diets and coarse bread, still spoke volumes about identity and status. From children chewing twigs in the streets to priests blessing teeth with sacred oils, dental care was woven into the fabric of life, a shared human effort to face discomfort, preserve health, and express dignity. Tonight's story reminds us that even the most ordinary acts have deep roots and profound meaning. The next time you pick up a toothbrush, consider the thousands of years behind that simple motion. The resilience, creativity, and belief that brought humanity closer to health and harmony. So now, as you drift off to sleep, carry this ancient wisdom with you, that care for your body is also care for your spirit, that every small ritual connects us to those who came before, and that beauty lies in persistence and respect for the self. Thank you for joining me on this quiet journey. Rest well, and may your dreams be as rich and timeless as the sands of Egypt.